Welcome back to Travel Facts. Today, we're exploring the world's northernmost island archipelago. It's a frozen frontier, a polar paradise, and a place that even Santa Claus avoids, but its location is sure to surprise you. Tucked away at 79 degrees to 82 degrees north, it sits farther north than any other significant landmass. Greenland, the next closest contender, falls well behind at around 72 degrees north. As a point of reference, that's as far north as mainland Norway. Located closer to the North Pole than almost any other land, this hidden wonder remains shrouded in mystery. In fact, at its peak, the Soviet military presence on the islands peaked at over 2,000 personnel. The secretive nature of these activities only added to the allure of this frozen wasteland. It's a puzzle that remains unsolved, a testament to the enduring mystery of Franz Josef Land. Franz Josef Land is home to some amazing animals, like the northernmost population of polar bears on Earth. You heard that right, summers are cool and winters are frigid. It's important to note that these islands lie within the Arctic Circle. This means that the sun doesn't set from late March to late September. We can better grasp the broader implications for our planet. Giving way to what's known as the midnight sun. Can you imagine spending 3 months without experiencing darkness? Unlike Antarctica, Franz Josef Land doesn't welcome hordes of tourists. In fact, only about 1,000 visitors are permitted each year. In 2012, Franz Josef Land was declared a Russian Arctic National Park. This protected area spans 1.6 million hectares of land and sea, safeguarding the unique flora and fauna of the region. We've explored its strategic importance, its untouched wilderness, and the challenges that lie ahead. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, make sure to stay tuned for more exciting travel facts. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. The national park status aims to preserve the delicate balance of this Arctic ecosystem for future generations. It's a step towards ensuring that the beauty and fragility of Franz Josef Land remain intact. That's right, just 1,000 lucky people get to experience the magic of Franz Josef Land firsthand. Franz Josef Land stands as a testament to the enduring allure of the Arctic. As we look to the future, it's essential to balance exploration with conservation. It is a place where adventure meets nature as raw power, and where the remnants of the past echo in the frozen landscape. The remoteness and harsh conditions mean that tourism is limited. Access is granted to small groups who travel with armed guards due to the ever-present threat of polar bears. It's not your average vacation spot. Over the past decade, an incredible 65,000 tons of Soviet-era waste have been removed from the islands. This cleanup effort, primarily led by Russia with support from international organizations, aims to restore the pristine environment of these islands. Imagine that, cleaning up a remote Arctic archipelago. It's fascinating, though perhaps not so great for sleep schedules. On the flip side, winter brings polar night, where the sun doesn't rise for 3 months from late September to late December. Additionally, temperatures plummet, reaching lows of around -40 degrees Celsius. Even in the brief summer, warmth is a luxury. Temperatures usually hover around 2 degrees Celsius, so if you're considering a visit, be prepared for some seriously chilly weather. These majestic creatures thrive on the archipelago, taking advantage of the abundance of seals and other prey. As the world warms, the Arctic region is warming at twice the rate of the rest of the planet. These islands serve as a front line, offering valuable data for scientists working to understand and predict environmental shifts. One of the most significant impacts of climate change in the Arctic is the melting of sea ice. This has profound implications for both the global climate system and the people who live in the Arctic regions. The loss of sea ice can lead to positive feedback loops, meaning that as temperatures rise and more ice melts, it exposes darker ocean waters, which absorb more heat, leading to further warming and ice melt. The consequences are far-reaching. It affects weather patterns, coastal erosion, and the delicate balance of Arctic ecosystems. It even messes with global ocean currents that play a vital role in distributing heat around the planet. By studying these changes, scientists hope to better predict future trends and work towards effective solutions. Ring seals and bearded seals also make their home here, along with walruses. If you're a bird enthusiast, you'll appreciate the variety of seabirds that nest on the islands, including thick-billed murres, black-legged kittiwakes, and doveckies. Hooker Island is particularly renowned for its bird cliffs, which come alive each summer with the arrival of over 100,000 nesting seabirds. The sight must be truly spectacular, although seeing it requires navigating treacherous conditions. People outside the Soviet Union could only speculate about the true extent and purpose of their operations. Their mission in 1872 was to study the North Pole. However, they ended up making an accidental discovery. Well, the post-Cold War era brought changes, yet the mysteries persist. For instance, who has heard of Champ Island? This particular island holds a peculiar enigma. Scattered across its terrain are hundreds of large, smooth stone spheres. Now, you might think, so what? But here's the catch, nobody knows how they got there. The locals call them the eggs of giants, adding a touch of folklore to the already intriguing landscape. The scientific community has offered theories suggesting that they may have been formed by natural erosion or glacial movement. Yet others argue that these spheres could be remnants of an ancient civilization lost to time. We don't know for sure. Due to shifting ice flows, their ship, the Vega, found itself trapped at the edge of an unknown landmass. What followed was a struggle for survival. The crew spent 14 grueling months enduring freezing temperatures and dwindling supplies. They hunted polar bears for food, dragged their boats across land, and endured hardships that would test the limits of human endurance. Eventually, they were rescued, but not before stumbling upon what would become known as Franz Josef Land. So grab your warmest coat, because we're about to embark on a journey to Franz Josef Land. Franz Josef Land comprises 192 islands spanning 16,000 square kilometers. That's roughly the size of Kuwait. The name might not ring a bell. They saw potential in the region's strategic location and began establishing military bases. Fast forward to 1967, when the Soviet Union took a giant leap in solidifying its presence on the archipelago. This was the year they constructed the world's northernmost military airfield. Yes, you heard it right. An airstrip capable of handling heavy aircraft was strategically positioned on the island of Alexander Land. Why? Simple: control and defense. At the time of its construction, the airfield played a pivotal role in the Soviet Union's effort to monitor and defend against potential aerial threats from the West. With this move, the Soviets transformed Franz Josef Land into a critical component of their defense strategy during the height of the Cold War. The archipelago takes its name from the Austro-Hungarian expedition led by Karl Weyprecht and Julius Payer. In honor of their emperor, Franz Josef I, the explorers named the islands after him. However, despite their discovery, it wasn't until decades later that Franz Josef Land gained prominence on the world stage. The archipelago remained largely unexplored until the early 20th century. The harsh conditions and remoteness of the islands made them an unlikely destination. But that all changed when the Soviet Union showed interest. In the 1920s, the Soviets claimed the islands as their own. As the years went on, the significance of Franz Josef Land grew, housing several radar stations and research facilities. But what about today? What we do know is that these stone spheres have become a significant point of interest for researchers and adventurers alike. Now let's talk about the wildlife. Despite the harsh conditions, life finds a way. The climate on Franz Josef Land is extreme. Franz Josef Land plays a crucial role in climate change studies. By understanding what happens in places like Franz Josef Land, fast forward to present day and Franz Josef Land is undergoing a remarkable transformation. Tourism is on the rise, drawing adventurers seeking the ultimate polar experience. However, access is strictly controlled. Here's something else to consider. With its strategic location, Unique wildlife and fragile environment. Thanks for joining us on this journey to Franz Josef Land.